If you watch Indian politics, you might have noticed a highly choreographed outbreak of extreme humility. Prime ministers abandoning 50-car convoys for 2 vehicles, chief ministers deciding to walk, other politicians making a big show of squeezing onto public buses or hitching rides on e-rickshaws. Take Minister Nitin Gadkari. He recently made headlines by taking a public bus to an inspection in Maharashtra. The cameras loved it. What the official footage left out, however, was the 30 to 40-car security convoy quietly trailing right behind his humble bus ride. These stunts coincide perfectly with moments of acute economic pain, like when a liter of diesel inches toward 100 rupees. When the public starts feeling the weight of inflation, the government begins its performance. This performance manufactures the optics of a shared struggle, redirecting the public's frustration away from the specific policy decisions that are driving fuel and food prices higher.
While politicians are projecting humility on the streets, the institutions they oversee are experiencing a much more tangible collapse. Recently, the NEET medical entrance exams, a gateway for millions of students, suffered massive paper leaks that rendered years of study worthless. Even as the scandal broke, the education minister was notably absent from the public eye. Instead of addressing the students or explaining how the testing infrastructure failed, he refused to take questions, effectively vanishing as the crisis reached its peak. This cycle of avoidance ensures that the failure never reaches a formal resolution. By the time the news cycle demands a real investigation, the administration is already waiting for the next PR event to bury the story. Politicians riding bicycles for the cameras might appear to be a simple distraction, but when the state needs to keep a genuinely angry public from looking at these institutional failures, it turns to much more aggressive methods. When the public's anger over paper leaks and inflation reaches a boiling point, the state doesn't rely on silence alone. To drown out the voices of students and families demanding answers, they pivot to a high-decibel industry of manufactured outrage, Hindutva pop. These songs are designed to act as audio triggers. Blasted at maximum volume, the lyrics are explicitly written to incite violence against minorities, often timed to coincide with processions moving through sensitive areas, ensuring local peace is shattered. The consequences are lethal. In Gumla, Jharkhand, this weaponized music played outside a local mosque. The group following the procession, riled up by the songs, targeted a young Muslim boy who was simply talking to a friend. They tied him to a pole and beat him to death. Instead of facing prosecution, the artists behind these hate anthems are elevated. They are flown in chartered jets, given direct political access, and assigned prime performance slots at massive rallies right before the prime minister takes the stage. This hate-for-profit machinery serves a clear purpose. If neighbors are occupied with communal tension and street-level violence, they stop asking why the government cannot secure an exam paper or provide a stable economy. But manufactured noise only works if the state can also eliminate any counter-narrative. This requires the systematic intimidation of ground reporters who refuse to look away from the truth. In Hathras, after a young Dalit woman was brutally assaulted and murdered, the local police took the unprecedented step of forcefully cremating her body in the middle of the night. It was an immediate attempt to destroy evidence and quiet the story. Journalist Tanushree Pande documented the cover-up, but instead of being supported for her reporting, she was pulled off the air. Her network benched her, choosing to appease the government rather than stand by her facts. Pande was sidelined, but her Muslim colleague Sadiq Kapan faced a much darker fate for traveling to cover the exact same story. Kapan was intercepted and arrested under anti-terror laws. He was locked away for over a year without trial, sending a clear signal to any reporter attempting to verify the facts on the ground. By terrorizing the watchdogs, the state ensures the public remains cut off from reality. The only thing left for the viewer to see is the carefully maintained PR illusion. When the media is intimidated and the public is distracted by manufactured communal tension, the actual economic foundations of the country begin to fail without any public scrutiny. The public sector banking system is a prime example. While the headlines are full of political stunts, economists warn that the banking infrastructure is being hollowed out by mismanagement, sitting on what they call a live volcano. Look at the PMC Bank collapse. Investigations revealed that an incredible 73% of its entire capital had been illegally loaned out to just one single company.
This concentration of risk went unchecked until the bank failed overnight. The institutional rot is so extensive that even employees of the Reserve Bank of India, the very regulators responsible for monitoring the system, had their personal accounts in PMC Bank. They were caught as off guard by the collapse as the general public. The failing of banks, leaked entrance exams, and the erosion of ground reporting are the true costs of a state focused on optics. These crises remain invisible because they are intentionally buried under a mountain of political PR and religious noise. When a state prioritizes propaganda over performance, it is the ordinary citizen who pays the price with their savings, their education, and sometimes their lives. The next time a politician performs a relatable stunt for the cameras or a hateful political song goes viral, don't focus on the performance. Ask yourself what they are trying to drown out.